Welcome to the Gaming Lab. Steam Bullet Fest is here. I'm Dorky, and this is the big boss, Professor Rex. We'll be talking about some crazy games.
We are entering the magical season where you can't see anything on your screen. Millions of pixels are exploding, and we love every second of it. Today, we are rapid-firing through 30 games. Let's go! First up is Megabonk, a roguelike survival game where you smash waves of enemies. It seems good.
I love the reviews for this one. One guy literally wrote, "After I started playing Megabonk, my life fell apart. I lost my wife, house, and dogs. Good game, 10 out of 10.
Don't laugh, Dorky. The game has issues. The unlock system is a grind, and unlocking new items just dilutes the loot pool, making it harder to get what you actually want.
Next, Gunfire Reborn. It mixes FPS, roguelite, and RPG elements.
The art style is unique. If Risk of Rain 2 and Borderlands had a child, but the child turned out to be a furry artist.
You described it perfectly, Rex. The gunplay is top tier, but your character's movement feels super stiff, and the dash barely takes you anywhere, but it's still quite fun and worth a try. Next, Arms of God. We are bringing divine justice with 5 weapons at once in this heavy metal, Doom-inspired arena shooter. The gore and presentation give it such a strong personality.
It is incredibly fun. I do think the weapon upgrade system needs a slight tweak though, because sometimes increasing your raw damage stat doesn't actually feel like it changes your time to kill, but the fast-paced combat loop is fantastic.
Next, Jotunnslayer, Hordes of Hel. We are heading to Norse mythology here. What sets this apart from other Survivor games is the bosses. They have actual phases and complex AoE attacks.
It is the perfect brain-off game. You just walk in circles and auto-attack until your screen turns into a full-on Scandinavian light show, and it works flawlessly.
Next is Returnal. Sony's award-winning third-person shooter is a masterpiece. The S-tier sound design, fluid shooting, and gorgeous graphics make it an unforgettable experience.
It is sensory overload in the best way possible. I did run into a really frustrating bug where the multiplayer co-op crashed and kept reloading me into the exact same crash spot, but solo, absolute perfection.
Next, Magicraft. Now this is my jam. You weave your own magic with hundreds of spells. I literally made an acid Ghostbuster proton pack build.
I love that developers aren't afraid of letting the player get overpowered. They fully encourage you to be creative, even if your crazy synergies end up tanking your frame rate. It is pure chaotic fun. Next, Vampire Survivors, the gothic horror legend that kickstarted the entire genre. It starts so simple but becomes surprisingly complex.
It costs less than the price of a pint, and the music is great. I will say, they have added so much content over the years that it can feel a tiny bit overwhelming if you are just jumping in now. Next, Brotato. We are a potato wielding 6 weapons at once. You can be a speedy glass cannon spud or an unkillable mashed tank with 6 flamethrowers.
The potato theme is brilliantly baked into the mechanics. I do think the recent Nightmare difficulty update made things a bit too punishing and exhausting, but the core loop is incredibly crisp and replayable. Next, Ball X Pit. This one creatively fuses brick-breaking physics with base building. You fuse different balls together to find crazy, overpowered synergies.
It is like Megabonk and Arkanoid had a baby. The ricochet action is a blast. I just wish the base building meta progression didn't eventually overshadow your actual in-game skill choices. Next is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor Rock and Stone. We are mining riches and blasting alien bugs in an auto shooter.
They translated the DRG universe into a top-down perspective flawlessly. The weapon variety is amazing. I've had a few system crashes since the new DLC dropped, but it is easily one of the best games in the genre. Next, Monsters Are Coming, a really cool take on tower defense, where you fortify and protect an ever-moving city. The strategic aspect of placing buildings is great.
The PC menus drive me a little crazy because it's hard to lock in your choices, and the game feels a bit bare bones to already be getting paid DLC. But the potential here is massive. Next, Soulstone Survivors. We are taking on the Lords of the Void with over 350 skills. The graphics are cool, and unlocking all the characters is super rewarding.
It is a blast for the first 30 hours. My only critique is that despite the massive skill tree, a lot of the builds and weapons eventually start to feel very similar, and the visual can get a bit cluttered. Next, TerraTech Legion. You build a battle vehicle block by block, go heavy at the front, and you're built to ram, pile on boosters, and you're fast but fragile.
It's literally like dropping your own deadly Lego car into Vampire Survivors. It is so fun to adapt your build on the spot. I do feel like you unlock so many things later on that it gets hard to make a focused build, though. Next, Trials Survivors. The devs proudly claim this game has a total disregard for visual clarity, and I respect that. You can just keep leveling to infinity.
As one user mentioned, it feels like baby's first bullet heaven, and the monster density is incredibly impressive. It is missing a few quality of life features like spell transparency and health bars right now, but it is a very solid early access title. Next, Metal Thunder. You command an AC-13O gunship in an action roguelite. Upgrading your arsenal to rain down fire is a really neat concept.
It genuinely makes you feel like an angry god unleashing death. I do wish the missions had a bit more variety, as they can feel a bit repetitive, and the frame rate drops when the action gets too heavy. Next, Grind Survivors. You play as a towering demon hunter in a scorched, post-apocalyptic Earth. Being able to fuse and re-roll weapons at the forge is awesome.
The weapon tier system is wonderfully designed. It lives up to its name, though. It is quite grindy, requiring you to beat levels on 5 different difficulties to unlock new biomes. But for quick 30-minute sessions, it is fantastic. Next, Sodaman. You fight alien hordes using soda powers and create custom cocktails across 7 different colors. The progression system between runs is honestly one of the best in the genre.
The music is incredibly engaging, and the character designs are great. The 20-minute rounds can feel a little long when you're just running around the map, but making game-breaking sodas is too much fun.
Next, Greedland, a survivor-like powered by Unreal Engine 5 that mixes elements from Crimsonland. The power armor upgrades and the sheer brutal aesthetic of the mechas feel incredibly satisfying.
I love how each weapon and armor set has a completely different flow. The music is a little uninspired, but grabbing a buddy for the 2-player co-op mode is an absolute blast. Next, Deadly Days, Roadtrip. We are on a zombie road trip. The best part is scavenging for loot and meticulously organizing it in your tiny backpack to get adjacency bonuses.
That inventory management kick is highly addictive. I do think the runs are a bit slow, and it takes a while to grind out enough upgrade materials to feel truly powerful. But the core loop is rock solid.
Next, Last Man Sitting. We are 360 no-scoping on office chairs. It is an over-the-top, hilarious action shooter.
I love the way the multiplayer makes you feel like you, and your companions are growing stronger together. It is quite buggy right now. Sometimes characters switch automatically, but for the price, it is an incredibly entertaining meme game. Next, Nuclear Throne, the Vlambeer post-apocalyptic classic. The gunplay is crunchy, the sound effects are satisfying, and the action is crystal clear. It is truly a masterpiece.
It is so difficult. Everything instantly kills you. But the runs are so fast that dying never feels too devastating, and you just keep jumping right back in.
Next, Swarm Grinder. You pilot mechs to clear alien bug cells that constantly spread and evolve. The horde trigger mechanic is really unique.
It manages stress and fun, masterfully forcing you to constantly push your luck. I just wish there were a few more upgrade options to encourage different weapon builds. Next, 20 minutes till dawn, eradicating Lovecraftian nightmares with magical spears and shotguns. The art style is so eerie and beautiful.
I love the precise directional aiming. The game is fantastic, though the balance heavily favors summoning builds right now, making them way stronger than strictly gun-based paths. Still, crafting a broken build feels amazing. Next, Pinball Storm, Lokanta, a roguelike marble shooting game. One reviewer nailed it. There's nothing quite as satisfying as the sheer amount of raw destruction that comes with setting up a good ricochet.
The UI design and the vibrant inner city vibe are so creative. The English translation is pretty rough right now, but the pinball physics are so fun that I can overlook it. Next! UBERMOSH! You are cutting bullets with a sword in a cyberpunk mosh pit. It is short, brutal, and impossible to quit.
Generating a new level, where you try to beat your score in exactly 90 seconds is brilliant arcade design. There are a few wonky hitboxes occasionally, but it is an absolute shot of adrenaline. Next, Skyforce Reloaded. This captures the spirit of classic arcade. Shoot 'em ups with modern visuals. The difficulty curve is well balanced, and installing upgrades to turn your plane into a flying tank feels great.
It looks and sounds gorgeous. My only complaint is that having to replay older levels to earn medals just to unlock the next stage slows down the pacing a bit. Next, Atomicrops. We are cultivating the last farm in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. You can romance the locals and marry them so they help you with farm work.
It is a dizzyingly vibrant dopamine hit. The twin-stick bullet hell loop is intense. I do feel the shop prices are a bit aggressive, making it hard to buy necessary stat boosts, but it is such a unique experience.
Next, Night Swarm. We get to rule our own castle as a fearsome vampire lord. I love how accessible it is. You don't have to spend a gazillion hours grinding to feel powerful.
The art style and voiceovers are a nice touch. I do think the progression pacing needs a balance patch, as the jump from normal difficulty to the tougher modes feels a bit bloated. But for the price point, there is a ton of content. Next, Survivors of the Dawn, an incredibly flashy bullet heaven, where you control terminal chaos and mix weapons with items. The character development systems ensure a different adventure every run.
The meaty visuals are so cool, but be warned, when you get super powerful weapons, the game can stutter heavily unless you turn the graphics settings down. Still, it is a great time. Next, Gryphon Night Epic. Finally, a 2D medieval shoot-'em-up. It feels like Mega Man, and Gradius had a son. The pixel art is beautiful, and fighting the duel-like bosses is a blast.
Exploring the stages to find secrets and ancient lore is really rewarding. I just really wish the game had an auto-fire feature, because constantly mashing the button for the slower bullets can get a bit tiring. And we made it. 30 games, millions of bullets, and endless chaotic fun.
Which of these bullet heaven masterpieces are you picking up first? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe. See ya in the lab.